There are 5 main reasons that freelancers and virtual assistants struggle with cash flow even after getting paid clients. In this video, I'm going to cover what those reasons are and what you should have in place in order to never struggle with yo-yo finances or feast and famine ever again in your business. The first reason freelancers struggle with finance problems and cash flow is their failure to track their finances. Many of us just focus on getting the next client, getting the next payment, how to hit the next income milestone without actually tracking what our finances look like in the bigger picture. Now, what this looks like is that each month you tell yourself, oh, I would like to make more money. How much money did I make last month? I made 1,500 US. I want to make 2,500 US this month. And then you work hard towards getting that amount. But what you're failing to do is to look at the bigger picture of your business to see if your business has been growing. How are you getting your income? What services are you providing that is bringing in the most amount of income for your business? Are you tracking that? Which clients are bringing you referrals? Which clients are bringing you more income? The reason why you need to be tracking all of these metrics is because when you're able to identify what these things are, you're able to understand how exactly you're making your money and how exactly you should be managing your money. This will also reveal issues like what exactly are your high income months and what exactly are your low income months, which will allow you to plan ahead to know what your cash flow will look like. Which brings me to the second point. Cash flow planning. A lot of freelancers don't plan anything. Like I said in the first point, they just focus on getting the next client and hitting the next milestone. Planning out your income looks like deciding what services to offer, what is working for your business, what is not working for your business, and being able to determine what services you want to make money from. Because all services and offers are not created equal. There are certain services that might take more of your time that you actually enjoy doing, or there are others that you absolutely do not enjoy, but they may bring in a certain amount of income. So you want to be able to decide, all right, these services I want to offer maybe 3 of these services, or I want 3 clients to purchase these services, or I want 2 clients to purchase these services. That way it allows you to determine what exactly you should be promoting, how you should be promoting, and how to work towards hitting those goals. The second reason why planning is important is because as a freelancer or as a virtual assistant, something that you want to be working towards is making sure that you can forecast your income. And this is where planning comes in. If you sell retainer packages or hourly retainers or recurring packages or pricing plans, this is where this comes very handy. This comes in very handy at that point, because if you know that you have a client that is on a 3-month contract to pay you for a retainer, you know that this particular client will pay you a certain amount for 3 months in a row, and that allows you to forecast your income. So you're like, okay, I'm in January right now, but I have 3 clients that are on 3-month retainers, and each of those retainers cost $1,000. What that means in actual mathematics numbers is that you are guaranteed $3,000 for the next 3 months, like $3,000 each month, because 3 clients times $1,000 is $3,000, and then they are in a 3-month retainer. So for the next 3 months, for that quarter, you know exactly how much you're going to make, even if you don't do any marketing at the moment. Now that allows you to finally forecast what you need to do in addition to what you already have in order to hit whatever goals you want to set. So if your goal is to hit a 5K month, you know that you've already gotten 3K for the next 3 months. So you just need to find something that clients or packages that you will sell that will give you the additional 2K. And what that also allows you to do is to realize that at the end of the 3 months, you need to get new clients that will continue that recurring income, and that will reduce that feast and famine cycle where you just work on projects, you wrap them off, and then you find out, oh, I don't have any money left, or I don't have any clients at the moment. So that is why it's very good to plan. And that also allows you plan your marketing, your promotions. If you want to do discounts, if you want to do collaborations, it's much easier to plan out all of these things when you already have an idea of exactly how your money is coming in and how that happens on a regular or at least a semi-regular basis. Which brings me to the third point. This is where most freelancers are guilty. That is mixing personal expenses and business expenses. If you're a registered company and you run a business that is registered, this is actually a serious offense and you can be fined for it. But if you're a freelancer and maybe you're just operating as a sole proprietor or something along those lines, depending on what it is in your country, many of us are very guilty of this particular mistake. And that is, as you receive money from your clients, there is no planning whatsoever. You just start spending the money. You spend the money on your Netflix subscription. You buy yourself a random cup of coffee. You're scrolling on Amazon and you find that new thing and you're like, yes, definitely, I want this. But the problem with that is that you're unable to tell what the business is actually spending and what you are actually spending. The problem with that is that the money just goes in and goes out. There is no tracking, there is no management, nothing. And then you are just in that constant cycle of, oh, I need more money, oh, I need more money, or I need money to buy this and I need money to buy that. It is very important, even if you're not operating as a registered business, that from day one, you learn how to separate your personal finances and your business finances. And the easiest way to do that is that you have a separate account for your business. So even if you don't have a registered business, which means you don't have a business account specifically, you can be using one of your personal accounts to receive money specifically for that business. Every time a client pays you, you withdraw the money into that bank account. Now from that bank account, you can start to allocate your income into different categories. First thing you want to do is to be able to pay yourself. You want to pay yourself a certain percentage of the money that you earn as revenue, and then from that amount you can start spending. So you want to first move out the amount that you've decided to pay yourself for the month into your personal account, and from that personal account you start to spend. And what this does for you is that you have enough money for your business. So if you want to invest in software, you want to hire maybe subcontractors, you want to buy something for your business, let's say you need a new laptop, or you want to buy a certain subscription like Adobe or Canva, the money can come out from your business expenses. And you as a freelancer doesn't have to struggle with, like, I don't have any money to eat right now because all of the money is tied up in my business, because you've already removed a certain amount to pay yourself. So it's very important to separate your finances, and even more if you're a business owner that has a registered business. So what you want to do is you want to have a business checking account, and that is where all of the income will come into, and then you start to allocate it from there. I highly recommend checking out Profit First, because it teaches a very simple method of managing your finances no matter the size of your business, and it's been very helpful for me in my business as well in managing my finances. Number 4 reason why freelancers and virtual assistants struggle with cash flow is because they do not have any recurring income. Now, if you recall from one of the examples that I've given so far, is that having recurring income helps you plan your income ahead. Like your revenue that is coming in, you're able to plan ahead of time. Now, if you don't have any form of recurring income in your business, that is a huge problem. And the reason for that is because if you're only working on fixed rate projects where clients pay you one time, you work on the project and they go, it means whenever you don't have a client who has an active project, you automatically have $0 in your bank account, or at least for that month, there will be no new income into your bank account. And that is a problem, because you want to be able to receive payments every single month on a sort of recurring basis. It doesn't have to be every week or every 2 weeks, but at least there should be money coming into your business every single month, and it should also not depend on whether you work or not. Now, this is not to be confused with passive income, where you're not necessarily doing anything, you've already set up something and the thing is bringing in revenue for you monthly. What I mean by recurring income is in a couple of methods. Now, number 1, you could either be selling recurring packages, so hourly retainers or retainer packages where you work for the client on a regular basis, month to month, and then the client pays you money for that. So why that is important is usually it goes alongside contracts and maybe at least a cancellation policy where the client has to give a 30-day notice before they can cancel their plans. Now, that 30-day notice is there so that once the client gives a notice, you know that, okay, in the next 30 days, this particular client is no longer going to pay me, and that gives you enough time to find ways to replenish that income. If you're not selling retainer hourly packages, let's say you've evolved as a business owner or a freelancer and now you're selling one-off projects. One of the best ways I like to use to create recurring income in my business is to break project payments into payment plans. Now, this is not only beneficial to you as the freelancer, it's also beneficial to the client because they don't have to make that large sum of money payment upfront. Now, there's a caveat here. The reason why payment plans work for me is because I have access to Stripe, and my Stripe account allows me to collect the credit card details, and then it automatically charges the client based on the billing cycle that I have set up. So let's take, for instance, a client wants to pay me $5,000 for a project. Rather than take the $5,000 upfront, sometimes I might say, well, if you don't want to pay $5,000 upfront, or let's say you don't have the entire amount of money ready at the moment, we could divide it into 2 payments of $2,500. Or we could do like maybe 3 payments or 1,200 or something like that. And another thing that is beneficial with payment plans is that you can also add an additional fee when someone takes a payment plan rather than paying upfront. So a $5,000 payment, for instance, when divided by 3 is not a perfect number. So if we divide 6,000 by 3, that would give us $2,000 each. So you can decide that, okay, for a $5,000 payment, rather than collecting $2,000, which will be a little outrageous, or maybe not, you can do that as an incentive to get people to pay you in full. You can split that $5,000 payment into 3 payments of $1,750. So that gives you slightly over the $5,000 payment by the time the client is done. But what that also does for you is that a project that you have already completed will be paid in 3 installments. And usually I like to do this for projects that I finish quickly, like building maybe a sales page or a website or a course membership area. These kind of projects usually take me anywhere from a week to a month, depending on how large or whatever scale the project is. But then I'm collecting the payment in 3 installments, which means I finish the work in January, for instance, and then I receive payment for it in February and in March. Now, I'm no longer working on that particular client's project. It is done, it is completed. But in February, I'm still going to receive payment for it, and in March, I'm going to receive payment for it. What this does is that it sort of levels out your income and prevents that huge spike and then a crash, which gives you if you're also bad at managing your finances, it's also a good way to space out the revenue, and that allows you to make better use of your money. So if you don't already have a way of making recurring revenue in your business, you want to start to incorporate this into your project and your plans. And like I said, it's also a huge incentive for clients as well, as people love to pay less upfront, as it feels like more of a better option, like less risk for them. Finally, one of the reasons why freelancers struggle with cash flow is because they refuse to ask for help. Now, this might seem like it's a vague thing, but let me explain. When you're a freelancer and you're working and you're getting paid clients and you're noticing that you're still struggling with cash flow, then it means that there is something wrong that you're doing. Maybe there's a way you're managing your income, there's a way you're tracking it, the way you're working. Maybe you're making too much expenses that your business does not need at that time. And it's very important that you ask for help, which is why it's very important to be like part of a freelancer community, or have business colleagues or accolades or people that you can confide in to help you figure out what's the best way forward. Because you're making money, you have clients, but you're not really enjoying the benefits of what someone who is making the amount that you do should be enjoying. And that's why it's really important for you to ask for help. So what I like to do sometimes is that I like to sit down and reevaluate my finances. Sometimes I have a few friends that I can confide in, and I'll be like, okay, so this is what I'm making right now, but this is what I'm taking home, and this is what I'm spending. And sometimes we go over everything that I'm currently doing, my team expenses, my software expenses, maybe programs that I've invested in. And there's always one thing that I'm not seeing, because I'm always inside of the business and I can't see it by myself. And they usually point out, oh, this is what you should be doing. And then I start to clean up things, which brings me to an additional bonus point, that as a freelancer, you should always be evaluating the things that you spend your money on at least quarterly. So this is the beginning of a new quarter, and it's the best time to look over your finances from the previous quarters and see, what exactly was I spending my money on? Am I buying software that I'm no longer using? Am I paying for a community membership or something along those lines that I'm no longer like getting any value from, that I can cancel? Are there any things that I could consolidate, like join together and buy a better subscription? So rather than paying for maybe invoicing software, proposal software, billing software, and all of these things, e-signatures, 4 different platforms, maybe I can find one platform that does all 4 things and then bring them together and pay a lesser subscription fee. Like, there are so many things that you could definitely look over in your business to see better ways of managing your money overall. So when you do these things, and then if you cannot find anything else, you reach out to your community, ask for help, ask questions. It's a very good way to start to see new ways to improve your cash flow. You can also look at other people's stories, other people's advice, and see how you can incorporate it into your business, just like you're watching this video right now. Even if you're a small business owner, the best time for you to start learning how to manage your finances is right now. Because when you start getting much larger contracts, much larger clients, it becomes more and more difficult to manage your finances because you were not diligent even in the small things. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you're looking for something to watch next, you want to watch the video on this page. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.